guys, and welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following along, you know that I'm working on lapel pins, or I guess that's what you call them when they're not enamel pins, right? Like if an enamel pin is not actually enamel, then it's not an enamel pin. Anyway, so you've probably seen me working on these. I make them out of shrink plastic. This one happens to be the white glossy, and I paint them with my Posca paint pens because I did find out, and I will show you this example here in a second, but I found out how to use the clear acrylic sheets, like the shrink plastic sheets, to actually make something that looked good, because before I was using just permanent marker and it was not cutting it. But anyway, I've been making these little guys. I have lots of new designs. This one is on the clear, and I will show you the difference between working with the paint pens and working with the permanent marker. The only thing that I have different, and I'll even put this on one of my tags, so like you can see the background isn't really changing it that much. So you can see right here, this one's really glossy because it does happen to have the UV resin on it already, but you can tell the difference significantly. And this was a slightly darker green than I probably would have gone for if I had a lighter green in the permanent marker. But either way, the clear plastic ones just ended up so dark, just incredibly dark. You couldn't see any of the black outline detail in the frog, hardly at all. And when I tried to do the one for the moth, which I don't have it, I actually tossed it out of frustration. But when I did the moth, you couldn't see any definition in any of it. I also didn't have the ability to do a white line on these clear ones because I don't have a white permanent marker. So switching to the Posca paint pens has been absolutely life-changing. I actually enjoy it more now that I have the paint pens because I can also do some blending, like this one. See how I can actually blend that out a little bit, which is really nice, and it gives me just the opportunity that even though I don't have very much, even though I don't have very many options when it comes to the paint pens, they don't come in every color, I can still use them to, you know, blend out and mix colors just a little bit, at least way more than I could with permanent marker. But I just wanted to show you the difference because I thought it was crazy different. And this is probably why I never enjoyed working with the clear plastic before when I had the opportunity. They just didn't turn out well. All right, but I will show you like a full pan of what these look like here in just a minute. I wanted to walk you all through some of the other things that I noticed while working on these this past week. I had never made anything with pin backs before, and I was really hoping that I wouldn't run into the issue that I ran into. So I will show you, like this is a little frog that I've done, and on the back you can see the pin. And then of course you get the little stopper that goes on the other side, but you can see the black outline of the glue that I use because I didn't have E6000 available in clear when I went to go find it. But you know, it's in the back, you're not gonna see it. I started off doing them with the clear UV, and I was just doing it the same way I did it with glue and using the UV. You can kind of see it, I don't know. It's a little difficult to see the clear plastic on there. But anyway, it was going so quick and so fast, and it was perfect because I thought, man, I could bust these out so quickly. But on the white ones, because you can't obviously get UV up underneath that to have it dry completely, I was running into a situation where every so often, if I just kind of nudged it a little bit, they would just pop off and they would be like sticky on the inside still where they hadn't completely cured yet. And I was like, oh man, like I can't make a crappy, you know, something to sell. I can't make a crappy product. So I went through and I broke all of them off and I replaced them all with 𝑓6000 because this is the tried and true glue. There's just no way around it for me. It's what holds all my magnets on. All of my little bottle cap magnets, they all have 𝑒6000. And once I'm done with my tube of black, I'll find out how to get the clear stuff here because they just didn't have it available when I went. So anyway, the resin didn't work, which is unfortunate because it dried so quickly and I thought we were really onto something there, but honestly, the 𝑒6000 is great too. It just doesn't give me that opportunity to make and package basically in the same day unless I start like super early. But it worked out in the end. I think that, you know, I'm putting out a product that I know is going to stay together, and that's really the most important thing for me. All right, so the next thing I wanted to show you, I promise we officially will be working on them next week because I am done with making my shrink plastic pens and magnets as far as preparing for my first show goes. Everything else will be, you know, back stock that I want to create for myself. Into making our mushroom crystal terrariums next week. I had this idea at like 2 o'clock in the morning when I got up to go get some water, and I scribbled it down really fast in my kitchen, and then the next morning I got up and I wanted to get on Pinterest and see if I find anything like that. And of course there were like 3 different versions. The one I had in my head didn't look exactly like the other ones, but it was close enough that I second guessed possibly making them. And really the thing that brought me to that idea in the first place were these little domes that I had found on Amazon while I was looking up some other things for my business. I just thought, how cute would it be that my little mushrooms that I have on my altar in my bedroom fit in a little tiny jar like that. And I have all this moss and all these cute little tiny rocks already, like the little crystal chips already. So it's one of the most frustrating things about being a creative is that even if you come up with it in your head, chances are someone else has already done it, possibly better than you can, you know, pull off, and it's almost like there's no real new ideas anymore anyway. But as a creative, you know, it's like you just have to make it your own. Even if you do see something that you like that someone else has done, you have to find a way to make it your own because, you know, it is flattering to have other people copy your work, but of course you want them to take that and then run with it further and do their own thing with it. You don't want exact replicas because what's the point of that? So we're gonna get into these next week. They're super easy. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna draw out more than the fact that you stick some moss down on some little corks, but I think it's fun to watch people build things, so that's what we're gonna do. But before I just let you guys go, I wanted to share a few things I bought thrifting this last weekend. We went to that beautiful pond area and hit a few thrift stores because I was looking for some teacups, and I found the cutest teacups. I don't think I have talked about it before on the channel, but I'm going to do some little felted, like maybe some mushroom fairy rings, maybe a little cabin in the woods type situation, but I'm going to be using them on mugs. I'm so sorry it's so bright in here, but the lighting is way better than the rest of my house because it's kind of gloomy today. But I found some like little teacups, and I'll put a couple of photos for reference with what I'm gonna do to them here on the screen. But I was looking for patterns that were kind of watercolory already, that were really subtle colors and patterns, and was very nature themed. I really loved the kind of orangey red color of these leaves. I thought this one was super cute. It's just got like a really thin pinstripe, kind of in that same color, and then the cup itself is more of like a robin's egg blue. I don't know how easy that's able to come across on the screen, but very pretty. And then I saw this cup and saucer, and I almost just kept it for myself because it's so cute, but it's kind of like that speckled You know, like for camping, how they have those blue metal ones with like the speckles on it? That's what made me think of this one. Let's see. There you go. You can see them a lot better. Very, very pretty, very subtle. I thought that would be really cute. It's kind of little. And then I think my favorite find of the day, even though rabbits aren't typically something I do, bunnies aren't really like on my channel a whole lot, I still think they're precious, and technically they are a rodent, so maybe we can start peppering those in. Although I don't know if they're really considered 𝍊🍼🍆 because they're super cute and fluffy. But this was the cutest cup. Look at its little like watercolor face and its little cheeks, and then inside of the cup there's a carrot. It's so precious, and I have the perfect idea for it. And then I did find a few pieces of clothing. I've been trying to kind of upgrade my wardrobe for the channel, but also for me, because I'm getting older and I'm just kind of not into the whole t-shirt vibe the way that I used to be. I was very much a jeans and t-shirt girl pretty much my whole life, and I'm starting to kind of want more blousey type things, but also I'm still very much in my oversized sweater situation. But I found this, and I've been actually looking for a black and white striped shirt, but this is white and green. It's kind of hard to tell here, but it's like a really dark green color, and I love the fit. It's kind of a little oversized, but not like huge. And I got this shirt. I almost forgot I was wearing it. It looks like wood. It's like a knit, and the way they've got the one side of the pattern, it looks like, you know, like that's a knot in some wood, and it's just really, really cute. I'll see if I can view of it. See how it's like the stripes look like they're wood, and then this side is a little more plain, but usually I am texture over pattern, unless the pattern is just, you know, really subtle and nice, like stripes or even polka dots, something like that. But I just love how cozy and warm, and I actually don't have literally a single piece of anything that I own is brown except for a pair of pants. So that was a nice find. It was a little more on the expensive side because I guess this is a vintage Japanese brand. I think I paid 30 bucks for it, which is kind of high for thrifting, but I think I made up for it because this one was 700 yen, which is about 6 bucks. And then I also found this one for 900 yen, so about 8 bucks. But it's a skunk. I mean, the whole brand is called the skunk, but I just absolutely loved this little skunk, and it's in the perfect green color. So thrifting was great. I also found a whole jar of buttons. If you know me, I actually had buttons as a pretty significant part of my wedding. I like them because they're little and shiny, and you know, goblin brain. I can't help myself. I can't do it. But I have lots of projects coming up that I know I want to use these for, but I also just couldn't say no. So another thing that I got, and it's specifically for my art business, but we are totally going to paint them here on the channel because I think they're going to be a lot of fun as like a little mini series to do, are these cute little 2x2 inch canvases. They are tiny, like super tiny and so cute, and they're gonna be perfect for my shop because you guys know how I like to work small. But the most exciting part about that is that I finally, after probably 4 or 5 years of wanting to try, I finally got my first set of gouache. I cannot wait. I haven't even unboxed them, where it's gonna be a whole other video. I just know this is far too much paint. I couldn't find anything smaller at the time. All the little cases of gouache were like completely sold out on Amazon, and I couldn't find anything local, even though I want to say there's like a really decent, like a really good brand that is Japanese that everybody recommends. It's not this one, but this was like the second best, and that's fine for me, honestly. But we're gonna have a great time unboxing that. There are I want to say 48 colors. 56. Maybe I did buy this one. So, okay, I think what I remember was I couldn't find the small one. I could find like the 48, and then I saw the 56, and I thought, well, if I can't have the small one, why not have more colors and get the big one? Because it was only a few more dollars. I think that's what I had come up with, but there are so many beautiful colors. I cannot wait. These do great on black papers as well. And they're sort of like if acrylic and watercolor had a baby. They're kind of like right in the middle. They do take a little extra care, and I am currently doing a little bit more research on how to make sure that I make them last a very long time. So we will get into that, not next week, probably the week after. And I've already got some designs that I have in mind that we can work them on. Okay, and last but not least, I did do a few things for the business this week that I had kind of spliced in between doing other shrink plastic stuff because I had an idea. And I took some shrink plastic and wrote out some, you know, real big letters, because you have to because they shrink, so that I could make labels for this new thing I'm about to show you here in a second that I got to hold all of my shrink plastic and bookmarks and magnets and all of that on for my shows. So I did this. I added some little magnet bars in the back that I've had for ages. I've been hanging on to these things at pretty much every military job I have had for like the last 6 years, because they come with like your name tags. So I should make a name tag out of shrink plastic. That's such a good idea. Why haven't I done that? I have one more left of these too. Anyway, so these I will show you how they and I'll show you how I'm using these on my new display stand here in just a second when I flip the camera around. And then on that same note, I made this. So this is my sticker stand, and all my stickers go in these little pockets, and it rotates. This was just a trial run, so I'm actually gonna redo it now that I've seen how it's gonna work. But I resined some little magnets, like tiny magnets down, and then I put some on the bottom of this so that I can remove it, and you know, it's not being messed with anytime when I'm hauling all of it to my shows. But I definitely want to put something on the back side, and I'm thinking maybe I might add in the price on this too, because I didn't think of that. But it just makes it easy to have like a little signage, because some people will look at them and ask if they're magnets, like the big flat magnets or whatever. And I mean, I encourage everybody to pick up and touch and handle all of my stuff, because I feel like that's, you know, part of shopping. I like to handle things, so I always encourage it. They can always see for themselves, but signage is a good thing to have, especially for any kind of like impaired customer, because you never know. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of all I've done this week. Let me show you guys this new stand. Okay, so here it is, and like I was saying, I have these little magnet things that will clip here, and then my prices will clip to these, or I might even make a magnet price also. And this way I can just always have them labeled, but it's not fixed to this so that I can't change things around. But these are all of my new pens. I'm really excited about them. I really hope everybody loves them. If you see them as a pen, they will more than likely be available as a magnet as well. You can see some of those peeking out down here. I'm doing about 6 a piece on the pens, and then whatever I have left over will become magnets. And then of course I have my other watercolor ones here. I finally have a really nice display for my bookmarks. I will be doing a few more designs of those as well, sometime before April 1st. And then I have my keychain side. These are kind of more like charms for your backpack, and then these are actual keychains. And then down here, I'm going to put, once I have a few more made, I will be putting back my little earrings and bracelets. I really think it's gonna help people see my products better, and it's definitely gonna add some height to my table, which will be nice because then it won't detract from so much of my other stuff that does lay flat. And I just think it's gonna be a great way for people to be able to see everything that I have easier and, you know, ultimately purchase stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to have it on display in April at my first event. There is a space up top for a sign, so let me know if I should put my prices up there or if I should just do a fun, like, you know, the Rusty Thicket nameplate or something like that. I would love to have your opinion. Make sure you guys like and hit that subscribe button. We are growing every day and it's just great. And yeah, sorry this video was a little haphazard, but we are working on things, and it's how life is. So until next week, I will see you guys then. Bye guys.